Yeah, I was just gonna say, I just had a Windows update like a couple days ago. Yeah, it probably is, because the Windows update will set your default mic to default, but there's no real default mic. Mhm.
So, who wants to talk about what happened last game?
I'm gonna guess based on the resounding silence a few minutes ago that I should, unless somebody else wants to, and I should stop riffing.
My notes start with Herr Blitzen, so someone might want to go before me.
I think I can get us to Herr Blitzen, which is good because I took very few notes in the Herr Blitzen section, so good team. So last session, Titus tried to help himself to my muffin. Nobody. Probably will do that again tonight. Macklin got a response to the sending that Hunan had sent to his sister. I don't believe the rest of us know what that response was. Weren't even there for it, but it happened. We worked on selling our buddy Corin, on coming along to Marquette and helping with the planning. Those things aren't necessarily like either of those things could happen without the other happening, but we are working on selling him on both. V went book shopping, found a book about the plains. It didn't seem very accurate. Jazen had a nice visit with Cassandra and a baby. We showed Corin our magical tattoo spell book, explained all the options. We punted until tomorrow, which is I believe today at game time still, because we weren't proficient in tattooist tools yesterday, but tomorrow we might be. And then it was tomorrow. Jocelyn woke up, went down to the breakfast room. Macklin had a conversation with Sky, the friendly spirit, describing what Marquette would be like, and Sky was very excited to travel there. And then Macklin noticed that there was a whole lot of cooking going on, and he went into the kitchen to lend a hand. The cooks were intense gossips, and I wrote down the names of the people they were gossiping about, but not the substance of it. So over to you.
All right. Yeah. Macklin went and started in with the cooks, discovered that they were all Zendian women. There's Mila, Sophia, and Anna, and Frau Coach? Frau Coke?
Frau Cook, yeah.
Frau Cook. And Mila, out of all the different gossips, Mila's crush, her burning crush on someone named Herr Blitzen, really stood out. There was some talk about Dame Kra, Dame Hassan, and the Wizard. But Herr Blitzen really stood out, kind of like the Dr. McDreamy of the group. He gave some questionable advice. And throughout the course of the day, learned that Herr Blitzen was Hunan, so he gave some different advice. Not Hunan, young Yuri. Gave different advice, and one by one, members of the party started filtering into the dining room, the breakfast room. And eventually, they all got together and started talking about the plan. Or the not plan, the walkthrough, what's that word?
It was a plan.
It's definitely not a plan. It's
totally a plan.
It's like a plan to make a plan.
It's like a plan to make a plan. There's a word for that. It's right on the tip of my tongue.
Plan.
I know it exists.
We could call it pre-planning if you like.
You sound super good right now.
Yeah.
By the by. Framework? You said a framework. We went back and forth about whether we should go to Rexcentrum first or go to Marquette first. I think we decided to go to Marquette first because that would give the planners adequate time to plan. I think Ilya did not have... I think we spoke to Ilya yesterday about the Seeker Assume and whether or not he would be able to help. And this whole plan was kind of born from that idea. Tab spitballed the idea of being Corin along. No one objected, but we were sure to double check that this is what Corin was into, and his whole thing was basically where Tab goes, I go, and well, welcome to the team.
Which kind of makes I mean, we aren't wondering why, if that's his whole shtick. He's wasn't in a puzzle box with us, but
Yeah,
I suppose one might wonder that. We don't wonder. We were there. We know. Yeah. Also, Marquette has really good coffee, but we might not be able to be in proximity to where the
Yeah.
really good coffee is. So
Might
that's
not
a
be
bit of
able
a
to.
bummer.
So
Alina fell off Edgar. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I was just gonna say that we made a rough plan for how many days it might take in Marquette, and things were a lot foggier when it came to an extra retention. Aside from spend as little time as the school as possible and avoid anyone related to the Dundallian Empire. Deb also asked about inks.
Yeah, sure did. We're gonna make
And that's
give
where my notes are.
tattoos. Okay. Yeah, if we're gonna make tattoos, we might want to make them. I mean, it's good to have options, right? We've got some boring normal ink, but if one can have cool magical ink, that's also nice. So, yeah. So Macklin was gonna go off and talk to Eva, and we asked him to ask her if she could, or I don't know if we asked him specifically to find out if she has the inks, or if he knew anyone who might have cool ink, and it was her.
I think he offered.
But yeah. Dora also set command words for her fancy new armor, donning and doffing bracelet that are just on and off in Zemnian, so I'm sure that won't be confusing at any point in time. Alina fell off Edgar and dislocated her shoulder, and Dora put it back. There was lots of family talk. Backlund hung out with Ava and I think made a date with Ava for some point in between going to the academy and going to the Shadowfell, possibly to die. But hopefully not. Nice there first. And we agreed to split the difference and leave for whichever place we were going to first, 3 p.m. I think there was also some talk about where one could be teleported. Odrin knows of a teleport circle at the Solstice Academy, so that part is simple enough, but I think there was some question about where in Marquette we would be able to land, and I did like the nearest. It sounded like the best place was it Temple to Hades? Was it? Dawson had some idea that was not right near the Oasis. I think Rob covered that with the. We might be in Marquette for a minute, but that's all I got.
Okay. Anyone else?
It's an ancient temple of Hades, by the way.
Beyond old.
To add to tabs. Not sure what it was. That's what it is.
And is there a teleport circle there, or it's a location that Jazen knows so he can teleport there more easily than to just some random place he doesn't know?
You may have, at some point, put a teleportation circle there.
Very industrial.
I can't remember what everyone ended up splitting up to do at the end of the meeting.
Jazen was going to go talk to Odrin.
Macklin had left to go talk to Ava. I don't know if anybody else had officially left home.
I know I was going to plan on having Kier check on Ilya to see if her day was full.
Everyone roll me a d20.
Everybody roll a d20.
Is a nat 1 at the point bad?
No.
Oh, good, because I got a 2.
I think it's order of operations.
It really is.
You still never know when the hands of fate are going to close around your neck.
Some days it is a fate die. Some day it's just I don't know who I'm gonna put the camera on first, so make it easy for me. And V, you got a 2?
I did.
Okay. Can you put it in chat?
Sure.
Okay, so Macklin, you're up first.
Okay. Where last I left my pint-sized hero, question mark. I believe I had mentioned finding a butcher to acquire some pigskin.
Yes. You find out that there is a butcher here next to the Slayer's cake.
Next to the Slayer's cake. So if I were to leave at Ava's at 2, would I have enough time to get there, negotiate, and then make it back to the manor?
Yeah.
Or is that too much of a walk?
No, you've got plenty of time.
Okay. So then I will do just that. See about getting a hold of some animal skin, as close to human skin as possible.
Sure. They look a little confused by your request. They do offer you some pork rinds first that have been fried. Because they kind of assumed that that's what you meant.
I will pointedly bring up tattooing and inking of the skin as is being tested.
Sure. Yes. So at that point, they are able to give you a few, like, I don't know, 6x6 squares. Let's say
Cool.
let's say 5 6x6 squares of pigskin
That will
Probably
fit
set
in
their minds at ease too.
have been preserved.
Oh, excellent! I don't have to see the tanner. That is great. Then I will take that. I will offer some coin in exchange. This is just scrap, right? So
It is, but yeah.
I mean, it's preserved. They went through the
I mean, preserved is a strong word. They didn't like tan it. They definitely
Okay.
salted it down. They were probably going to make some of that fried.
All right. I'll offer them a goldus.
They take it gratefully. It is whisked right into the till.
All right, cool. And from there, I will take those pieces and file them into the bag of holding, and make my way toward the manor.
All right, sure enough. Dawson, you were heading to Odrin's? Or you were heading to see Odrin?
I was heading
Sorry.
to see Ojin, whatever that entails.
There is a difference at the moment.
There, I would say so.
Yeah, so you take the with some words to Ilya, you take the underground passage to a and it opens up and you are stepping out of it looks like it's not just a doorway in the middle of nowhere. There's definitely like a tent behind it, but the tent behind you seems to be mostly storage for dry goods. The work camp is significantly smaller than the last one, and both busier and less cheerful. People are kind of moving here and there with a purpose. There isn't a lot of like extra. You definitely don't hear music like you did before. Seems like it's more businessy, and there definitely is it's not a commotion. It's a hive of ants. They're definitely doing stuff and getting things done.
I'd probably find the nearest person that I could and ask them kindly if they would direct me in the direction of Odrin.
Yeah, you kind of tap someone on the shoulder. You catch, looks like a young officer, blonde hair, blue eyes, slight build.
I really wish I
Really
could
looking
see
good.
all that.
Well, you can smell hair color. I don't know.
I smell the bleach in your hair.
I'm setting the scene for your audience, John. I'm setting it for your audience.
No, they need to see it through Jozin's eyes, which he can't.
Or lack thereof.
You need to explain the other senses that he notices.
You smell horse and sweat and the faint tinge of blood around them. When you put your hand on their shoulder, you feel a good quality wool. Definitely not like the best quality, but definitely a good quality wool. And you hear the jingle of spurs as they walk.
Excuse me, I am looking for Odrin. Could you happen to point me in that direction?
They kind of blink for a moment because you hear it. Cause you hear the swish swish. And say, yes, I can take you.
I'd be mighty grateful, thank you.
All right, follow me. And they take off. They take off at not at top speed, obviously. Definitely moving quickly, but not so fast that you can't keep up. You walk a bit. There's definitely some twists and turns before you arrive at a tent. There's a murmuring of low voices around a table, and you can hear the rustling of papers. And one of the voices is definitely Odrin.
Jazen will step through, and say, I hope I'm not interrupting on anything. I apologize, and Jazen will walk out after hearing. Anyways.
No, sorry, I have to keep my phone sound on because of real life issues.
Yeah, no worries.
But half the time it's junk calls anyway. All right. Yeah, you hear a couple people kind of pause. The conversation stops as you move in, and sorry. Hey, sorry, I keep getting knocked off of track, and it's taken me a hot second to get back on.
Been there, done that.
Yeah. Conversation pauses as you come in. You hear some of the papers kind of land heavily on the table, and you hear a voice that's not Odrin go, all right, we'll leave you to this Arcanist. Lightly accented with the Zemnian accent, but not as heavy as some of the others you've run into. And you hear Odrin go, yes, thank you. You all can be excused. As people file away from you, Odrin, you hear his footsteps move closer, and he pulls you in for a tight hug. All right. That's good to see. Getting concerned.
Jazen kind of, hugs him back, obviously, and then as he lets go, he kind of feels his body up and down. Still whole, I think.
Still whole. I did not take the worst of it. I'm smart enough to stay in the back.
Oh, so you're not like me at all.
Nope, not at all. Alright, come sit. Tell me what you've been up to other than being a child. I got some conflicting reports from Talia. And he pulls out a seat for you and begins to make you what smells like hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate. Interesting. Jazen will take note to the hot chocolate, and when he sits down, he says, yeah, apparently, our father, decided that he wanted a family, and thought that, me being me, even as a child, who was a giant pain in the ass, thought he could control me. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure. Things are kind of sketchy as far as that's concerned.
I am both offended and relieved that he chose you.
be relieved because he found me uncontrollable and wanted to kill me.
That sounds about right.
Although,
There's
I
a
mean,
cup of hot chocolate is poured next to your hand.
Jocelyn will sniff it and then take a sip. That, you know how when you drink something that's really hot, you take that little tiny sip.
A little test sip, yeah.
Yep.
So the ceramic cup feels warm in your hand, and the smell is beautiful. Like, this is some high quality hot chocolate. This is not like the powdered stuff. This is like someone got out real melting chocolate. And it's a good temperature. It's not too hot, not too cold. You think you have, knowing what you know about Odrin, knowing what you know about Ilya, knowing what you know about the arcane, you get the feeling that this was definitely made to be the correct specific temperature by magical means.
Not too hot, not too cold. Jocelyn will take a sip, put it down. Yes, and then I was found or delivered to my former friends, I guess. And then I became whole again. Or, in this case, old again.
Well, I'm glad you're safe.
Yeah, safe is a way to put it, I guess, when you're going to try to, kill a lich.
You're no longer sharing a house with the Grand Bastard.
Ah, that's true. That is definitely a relief. I did have an amulet that originally protected me from being, how do you say, seen or heard or even noticed by him, but I may have made some mistakes, and that amulet was destroyed, to which point I had to assist my party in possibly hurting the... Yeah.
I've heard some of the story, yes.
Yeah, so that part where, yeah, that. But good news is we killed Macklin's brother, so that was a good thing, right?
You hear a pause and a catch in his breathing as he takes a second, takes a sip of his hot chocolate, puts the cup down on its saucer. I think that might be a matter of opinion. I might need more information to draw a conclusion to whether it was good or not.
To be completely honest with you, I have no idea. From what I hear, he's a bastard, so... Or, well, I guess in this case, he was a bastard. Now he's a dead one. He was working for Vecna. That's the best way I could put it.
Oh, okay. And so I would assume that Macklin was pro getting his brother killed?
Well, I mean, as much as, let's put it, family, it's always conflicting in the situation. I mean, I'm sure Macklin did what he felt was necessary, but I'm sure it was still at the same time conflicting to him.
Of course.
Just like if I was in the grasp of Vecna and was on his force, I'm sure you'd find it very hard to kill me.
I would, yes.
As, of course, I think I would find it difficult to harm you at the same time.
Well, good thing we're not in that situation.
Right. Anyways. But now we've killed... Oh boy, I'm drawing a blank on his name. That one. Yeah, we killed Sandor. So there is also a plus. Which, as I'm sure you're aware, he was a High General of Vecna.
That is a good thing. Sandor was one of the ones, I think one of the bigger troublemakers.
Yes. Well, I mean, being that he is the one that created all the clones or homunculus of Ilya, I would say he was definitely a large troublemaker. And go ahead.
Problems with that. But
Yeah, no. Some good, some bad, I guess. I don't know. It's still, I mean, I've been doing this for a long time and still find it all to be extremely confusing.
It's best not to think about it too hard, and I say that as a wizard.
Drazen kind of chuckles on that one. Now we're in the stages as we also destroyed, well, what we assume is the final battery of sorts. And now we're in our final stages of planning on how to take Vecna down. And I think we're planning a insurgents, turning a final battle, I guess you could say.
Well, that's clever.
I'm still, to be completely honest with you, I'm still not clear on the details. There's something about the people who are in the Shadowfell that are not fans of Vecna, and we feel as though we can use that to our advantage and plot an attack, something of that sort. I'm not quite sure, to be honest with you.
I mean, I can give you a full in-depth lecture about Shadowfell politics, including the various prophecies, if that's something you're interested in.
Well, maybe, maybe some other time. I'm pretty sure that we're both quite busy as Jocelyn continues to sip off his hot chocolate.
Indeed. He takes a sip of his hot chocolate.
But I think the plan now is to seek out Seeker Assume, as we feel as though as he could offer some guidance and maybe assist with some planning on how to continue. And then there was something else that I think we were going to do, but I'm not sure. But as you know, I only plan one step ahead of time, not 14. So, what can you tell me about the soul batteries?
Well, they were created by Vecna. They were his invention, twist on very old magic. It's basically a concept of life in, life out. That's as simple as the mechanism gets, really. He sacrificed people to it, or maybe not even people, but sources of energy to it, and in exchange drew power from them.
How come we can draw power from it?
It's tuned to his bloodline, so that's fine.
So by drawing energy from it, I'm drawing from the dead.
Yes.
Am I sacrificing the spirits within to never be released again?
No, not really. I'm not a priest or anything, but from what I've studied, it seems that it's more about the raw energy of them than their actual soul.
Oh, I feel so much more relieved right now.
I admit that I was only half paying attention to the lecture because it went into the weeds pretty quick.
It sounds like it. I just wanted to confirm that I am not an evildoer. Anyways.
I wouldn't make a habit of it, but I've assumed that at this point you've destroyed them all.
I would certainly hope so. I'm about sick and tired of the damn things.
It'll be extra dangerous after that.
Like a fox cornered, yes, I understand that. So I imagine we're starting to get to, how do you say, the end of our journey here. Of course we'll be back. I mean, we have to bring back the Seeker. I think I can handle most of the traveling. But we still might need your assistance. I would assume that you're more than willing to provide it when needed.
Of course. I have been conscripted into the war effort. He kind of motions around. Never show a Taldora you're useful.
Or take on a very dangerous adventure that has cost you your life on multiple occasions and probably the lives of others.
He just nods and, yep.
Then they can't boss you around. You're more than welcome to join us if you really want to.
No, I think that my services are best left here with the war effort, protecting the town, what's left of it.
I don't honestly disagree. I think I can handle the fools that I journey with.
You can always retire. And he just laughs.
I thought I did that a long time ago, to be honest with you. I missed the woods, I got to be honest with you. They were so easily dealt with. You sit there, you listen to the birds chirp, you listen to the crickets squeak, the frogs, whatever frogs do. And you didn't have to deal with people at all.
Well, there will be plenty of woods to go back to. Theoretically, hopefully, if we do this properly.
Jocelyn kind of nods and drinks the final sip of his hot chocolate and sets it down and kind of loses himself in a train of thought. I mean, I don't know if I could go back to that life of peacefulness at this point. Who knows, right?
Well, I have heard all sorts of plans over the last few days about what to do after the war. What people want to do, people think they can get away with doing.
What
Cabin
is it?
on the edge of town is not the worst.
He chuckles. Yes. I just fear that, we go through, we save everyone, everyone's perfectly fine, and then a few years down the road, someone else thinks they want to rule, or another person comes to try to dominate the rest of us, blah, 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 and the whole cycle's repeated over again.
That is the nature of life. History is cyclical.
And yet here we are, sacrificing every bit of life and limb to save it all, to repeat history over and over and over.
Indeed. This one's ours. The next one can be someone else's.
Oh yes, I'm certainly retiring this time.
I am as well, definitely.
Jocelyn chuckles to that. Sure. I'll believe it when I do it, and when we both do it at the same time.
Sounds like a pact to me.
Josin stands up. Well, I suppose I should head back to my fellow companions and head off to, well, wherever we're going this time. I have no idea.
He nods to you and stands to give you a hug goodbye.
He
All right.
does the same.
Take care of yourself, old man.
You as well. Remember, as he's walking out, he starts heading out. The only person that's allowed to kill you is me.
That sounds fair.
And he walks off.
Okay. Heading back to the manor?
Yes.
Alrighty. That's a 13. That's an 8. That's a 6. So, Kiora, you're up next.
Okay. Well, after the meeting, I had planned to go check in on Ilya. She was having a war meeting right now, right?
Yes.
All right, I'll see if I can. How much time do we have until we have to leave?
I think you decided to leave it. All decided to leave at 3, correct?
That's correct.
That sounds right.
So, this is about 10, so you have a good chunk of the day left.
Okay. I know this wasn't long since she had checked on Alina with me, so after we split up, I would head into the dining room and kind of take up a place unobtrusively, kind of nod over to Ilya to let her know that, I'm hanging around. I don't want to disrupt anything, but
Sure. And she gives you a nod, and so when you come in, you notice one thing. All of the people at the table are speaking Zemnian, which you speak.
good time to learn that language.
It is. The thing, roll an insight check. With advantage, because it's Ilya.
20.
20. Okay. Yeah, you pick this up. Ilya sounds more expressive in Zemnian than she does in Common. When she's being sharp, it has a bit more of an edge to it. It seems like Common, the language itself, dulls whatever she's saying a little bit, but not in Zemnian. It's a pretty standard war council. They're talking about the retreat, about losses, number injured, how to best reset the line, dealing with the fey creatures in the Parchwood that they had promised to protect. It's a lot of numbers. It's a large number of numbers.
Okay. I guess I would be listening in to try and get an idea of the scope of the conflict here in the material plane. Given how often that we're planes hopping, I don't have a great idea beyond what Ilya has shared with me. And I want to kind of make an effort at trying to figure out what she's grappling with right now. So I have just kind of like a concept in mind.
Sure. So it looks like they had always kind of planned. They had planned, they had hoped for the best and planned for the worst, which doesn't sound unusual. And so thankfully, they're talking about like food supplies a lot. And it looks like they had pushed the line aggressively forward to where it had been when during the summer, mostly so that they could hunt and gather and plant and use these smaller farming villages when they could, and all of them had extensive evacuation plans in place. So that food could be stored, because that was a major problem last winter. So heading into this winter, it looks like they were super concerned about a couple of things. One being space, and the other being space and protected space. And then the other being food stores.
Okay. And in terms of what they've seen, general forces of their own versus Vecna's, I know they were just pushed out and retreated. That last battle that they fought, was it a particularly big one, or did they have to just yield the ground so as to preserve the majority of their army? Just kind of getting a sense whether we're like on the rope, so to speak, or if our forces are still posing a significant thorn in his side.
Mm-hmm. Not on the ropes, maybe on the back foot. It seems like what you gathered, Ilya was definitely not being exceptionally aggressive and had ordered the retreat fairly, not early in the battle, because it was a pitched battle and it was difficult. However, she saw how the tides were turning and realized that they weren't going to win fairly early, and so called the retreat before major losses. Like, pride was not a factor in it as much as it might normally be.
Makes sense.
Makes sense. It makes sense considering who she surrounds herself with. It also makes sense seeing that you saw how injured she was, or recovering from the injuries after that battle. So
So lost the battle, but still in a good position in regards to the war.
yeah, definitely outnumbered. However, not in a bad position. The place, there were several back lines that they could fall to. This was considered the best one. And it's actually mentioned that Talia made the final call as to where they should fall back as far as the lines go.
Okay, I'm kind of happy to see that Talia is being brought in, and that there is trust being extended to her, and that she is being helpful. That's gratifying. Okay. As I'm digesting this information, I'm keeping an eye on Ilya, but I think my earlier check kind of told me what I expect to find. Everything seems to be in a good place right now. Also getting a sense of how long the meeting is, to see if this is going to be something she's going to be tied up with all day, or if she expects to break away from it at any point.
Mm-hmm. You're in the meeting for an hour, but you do see it's not like one of those like never-ending meetings. It's definitely everyone like going around the table giving a report about their specific situation. And I can illuminate on some of these players if you'd like.
I might ask questions about them a little later.
Yeah. So it looks like every single person at the table is like the head of a specific division. And so she's just doing a basic division leaders meeting, getting everyone to kind of pipe in as to what's going on with their specific division so that she can make bigger plans.
Makes sense.
But it's only about an hour or so long. It's very specific, very concise. And you get the feeling this is more of a check-in based on, and that's building on previous previous meetings that have probably happened recently. So it's more like a status check than a planning meeting.
Okay. In that case, I'll stick around to the end of the meeting to check in with Ilya and see what her plans are for the early afternoon.
Okay. Yeah, she does eventually kind of give everyone their marching orders, more or less, and everyone kind of heads to the breakfast room too. He actually heads to the Great Hall and leaves through the Great Hall. As some of the people head to the breakfast room to kind of do that. You know, the post-meeting socializing time?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to do that over there. And I'm free.
Free to get back to more walk or free to enjoy yourself for a little bit?
I think I can find a few hours.
Excellent. I happen to have a few hours before we are set off, and I did obliquely kind of maybe promise Alina that I would check in with her and maybe go for a ride with her, and was hoping you could come with us.
That sounds quite enjoyable, and it's a good, nice warm day out for it.
I'll nod. Anything you need to see to before we step out?
We'll see Yuri on the way out, I think.
I'll nod and turn and hold the door for her into the great hall where Edgar has been dutifully sitting this entire time.
Poor Edgar. And you see Yuri is kind of waiting. And Ilya looks to him. I'm going to slip out for a little bit and catch some free time and for some fresh air while I have a chance. And Yuri nods and good. He kind of looks around. Library window, I think, is going to be the best one.
I beg your pardon?
And Ilya nods and heads this way. Yuri just grins at you and shakes his head.
Something I should know.
We're sneaking out the library window.
All right. Can Edgar fit through that?
He
Or should I
tries
just-
really hard.
I gotta purse my lip. Is there like a back door back here or something I could just send him out from?
There is not a back door back here, which is probably why she's going through the window.
All right. You know what? I'm not going to do that to you, boy. I'm just going to send him like through the front door to circle around to meet us. He's experienced enough indignities this morning.
Edgar's had a stressful morning. And no one's going to stop Edgar to ask questions.
He might take a minute to figure out how to open the door with his talons.
Yeah, so Petra will hear the commotion and quietly sidle to the door to open it for the griffin.
The door might be a little scratched up around the door handle. But he gives out a little caw of appreciation before he heads out.
They let out a long, suffering sigh. As Ilya throws open this window.
Once he's outside, he just kind of like hop, flap, glide, kind of enjoying the open air again as he circles the house.
Yeah, Ilya unlocks the window and hops out.
Cora will join her as Edgar bows so they can climb onto his back.
Oh.
I figure you could sneak through the city, or we could just soar above it.
That's a very good plan.
Fewer prying eyes. Above us. Around us, at least. Can't do much for those below, but let them be jealous.
less the prying eyes and more the stop, can you just hear this one complaint?
As we climb on, I make sure to sit behind Ilya for maximum protection, and we take off and head towards the stables to find Alina.
Okay.
And the rest of my afternoon until like maybe an hour before the meeting or so would probably be spent just spending time with them, riding alternating rides on Edgar. Family bonding time.
Family bonding time. Yeah, it's quite enjoyable. Alina seems to be in good spirits despite a slightly sore arm. She is eager to show off her pony.
It's a very pretty pony.
It is a large black horse. I don't know, Hannah. Jump in here.
I don't know what deal you're looking for, but I can
Give Alina a
throw-
good pony.
Give Alina a good pony.
like I mean, I'm partial to
Probably a gelding, I would assume.
yeah, probably generally the I mean, all these Tal'Dorei seem like mirror people to me. They were a little shoot, I can't remember what they're called. I'll Google you a picture, but I'll mute while I'm Googling so that I can stop talking in the middle of your game.
As Ilya is on her own horse for a lot of it. Bows are produced at a certain point. Does Cure go hunting as well?
She would be less of a hunter and more of an aerial observer.
Mm-hmm.
Just because everyone knows that Yor's not the best with a bow or with tracking, so she'll keep watch from above and let Edgar kind of keep track of them below. Basically, whenever everyone comes into like a clearing, then Edgar will drop down and Yor will check in with them. Are they hunting on horseback or traipsing off into the woods?
They're hunting on horseback.
Yeah.
That is the pony. Yes.
Although, honestly, to spend more time with them, she would probably doff her armor and ride with them a little bit, since she's likely to be more quiet that way.
Okay. Yeah. Why don't you roll me 3d20s? These are real fate dice.
Okay. I don't have my dice tray is conspicuously absent. All right, virtual it is. Actually, no. I'll just eschew the dice tray and use my actual Cure dice for fate now. Way to go, Cure dice. 2, 10, 13.
Two, 10, and 13. Okay. Well, they're not taking down any boars today. They chase something through the woods for a hot second, but seem to lose it. The second trail they seem to pick up, that Galdrick, the corporeal Galdrick, seems to pick up. They follow for a little while, but he looks like he may have just kind of decided that he wanted to go on a big fun run and didn't exactly pick up a trail. And then the last run, you guys do spot a deer, and Ilya takes a shot at it, but it spooks, and she misses.
Huh.
Which Alina teases her mercilessly about. They exchanged witticisms quickly.
I have another idea. Actually, no, I don't want to try this idea just yet. Mostly because I'm not sure what would happen, and I definitely want a better thing to happen than a unsettling thing. So, gonna hold on to that one. Right. Okay. I'm even without catching anything. This is quality bonding time we haven't had in a long time, so I'm just happy to be with them and forget the war for a couple hours.
Oh yeah, and you get the feeling that it's one. You get a couple feelings. One, that they do this fairly regularly, judging by how much Alina is teasing Ilya and missing that shot. And also that they are more eager to spend the time with you and with each other than they are to actually kill a thing. So they hunt, but it's not aggressively or as actively as you have seen Ilya hunt before.
Mm-hmm.
You have seen Ilya when she is like, I am going to go kill a moose, and I'm going to kill a moose today. There's not that intensity. Oh, yeah, it's a pleasant afternoon hunting, quote unquote. Mostly just trail riding with weapons.
Okay.
Which leads us to V. What are you doing, V?
V would like to check in with whoever the contact is currently for Denthalis to maintain that he is in fact still alive. Please do not sell all of his possessions if you haven't already.
Sure. So you actually activate your coin that lets you teleport to Denthalis.
The reason V had to ditch the entire party, which has been really hard.
And head to Shore House. Where it is a completely different time of day. You left mid-morning, it's kind of late evening. However, people are awake. The house is this is Essex House. It's fairly active most times of day. Active is a strange word when most of the servants are unseen. But you do find him in his library over a book. Lee, I was about to write you off. Good thing.
Not yet. I mean, there's been a few close calls. Shrugs, like this is normal.
Yes, I spoke with the Empress. Kind of just shakes his head at that. And she did explain that you were working with one of their adventuring groups. Hopefully to good ends.
Well, no one's died and stayed dead yet. Elaborate shrug.
Oh, I mean, that sounds like a problem. We can fix that problem for you if you'd like, if you need help in learning how to kill something so it stays. You're not just knocking it unconscious, correct?
No. I mean the Empress's party.
Oh, good. All right.
No one's died and stayed dead.
That's actually different.
Yes, it is, because I'd like to keep my head. I'm not quite sure how the Empress would react to some of these party members' deaths.
Well, yes, the sovereign is quite an intense woman.
Yes. It's been very odd being in any sort of proximity.
I imagine. But, well, at least we aren't the Empire. We know how to deal with such things. So, what are you doing for Denthelis? How do you explain what your current mission is?
Currently, acquiring knowledge.
All right. He motions for you to sit down across the table from him, puts his book to the side, pulls out a fresh sheet of paper. So you would say that your current activity is acquiring knowledge. How?
I mean, besides all of the somewhat crazy interplanar travel, which, while it wouldn't be impossible, wouldn't be quite so varied, I don't think, were I not traveling with this particular group.
So how I'm going to word this is you are traveling with a group, making allies in various planes and contacts in various planes for Denthelis.
Excellent.
And he
Sounds
makes
good.
the mark on he starts writing it out on a piece of paper in Elven.
He also pulls out and provides a list because also knowledge. He may not
takes
be,
the book list.
handing it over, but
Yeah, no,
advertise
he
that he has it.
takes the
People will check in
list.
with V. V will, have more people to talk to.
He nods approvingly at the list, and you see him
Also
take out.
met Ava
He pauses in
of
the
the
middle
class.
of writing out the book list. Uh-huh. I imagine that's quite an interesting contact.
It has been an experience.
And he's just writing out the book list. That's a good one to keep tabs on. Okay, so I will add keeping tabs on members of people of interest to Denthelis to your current.
Keeping tabs on making contacts within other organizations, however you'd like to word it.
I like that. I will borrow that. All right. And how do you feel you're doing with this? With these jobs? Do you think you're doing fairly well? Do you need any assistance we can offer you?
I mean, obviously I've survived so far. honestly, the party works fairly well together and tries to make sure no one's, cursed for terribly long. Interesting. I don't think I've been cursed before this. I mean, I could probably use an armor, but need is. I'd like one. I'd like to live. Apparently, we're heading to the Shadowfell some point in the near to far future.
Okay, I can definitely requisition you some armor with the family. All right. Anything else I can do to help assist you with your job and what you're doing? It seems like it's very important work.
It is very interesting work, and I would never have got my hands on half of that otherwise. Unfortunately, I've had to put most of my work with the actual book work at the library on hold because honestly, I'm not there much.
That's fine. We got most of what we were looking for when you were there, copying books to protect the knowledge.
I was really hoping that I had most of it done before I
Yes.
I'm not quite sure if I want to use the word kidnapped, but shanghaied? Forcibly redirected?
I would say tipped off, not tipped, that might not be quite the way to put it. Yeah, let's say tipped off to a better direction in which to spend your energy.
That works. But yes, I am in fact not dead.
Good. That means I owe you this. And he reaches into his desk. He pulls out a small bag and hands it over.
He accepts this bag.
Mm-hmm. In it is 200 gold.
He grins, tosses it up the air, and, sleight of hand vanishes it just because.
I think you have a good eye, V, for opportunities. Good job.
Thank you. I have definitely been trying to keep an eye out.
Keep keeping an eye out like that, and I think you'll only rise in the house.
I shall do my best to continue. Is there anything in particular I need to be on the lookout for? Also, apparently we're going to have some sort of contact with a group, the Cobalt Soul?
The Cobalt Soul. I wouldn't trust them an inch. If you have any access to disguises, use it. They don't trust Drow in the Empire.
Thank you.
Jorhaus has been at war with the Empire for a great deal of time, and as such, they just assume Drow equals Jorhausian.
Right. Do they see through certain types of disguises better than others? Should I be going physical, magical, some combination thereof?
I would go with some combination thereof, just to be safe.
He is like half looking at, the color of his hair going,
But they're usually fairly easy to deal with as long as you remember to play by their rules. I wouldn't recommend any rule breaking with that group.
Another good thing to keep in mind, and perhaps remind my fellow adventurers of. Oh, one of my party has recently decided they're going to dabble in tattooing, and they're a somewhat how to put this. I'm not sure quite if they're a collective hobbies or they just like to, try everything that looks interesting. Something of that nature. And they're talking about possibly magical tattoos. What are they looking for? Like, I don't mind doing some sourcing, but I figured you'd know more than I do.
Of course. So what are you looking for information on? The inks and how to do them, or
Things to watch out for, any specifics about the magic type inks. I mean, if you're doing magical tattoos, I'd really rather not end up first permanently
fair enough.
because there's an
so-
amateur tattooist.
The thing with the doing the tattoo is it's mostly in intent. It's the tattoo itself is more like you can use most any verbal component in order to cast a spell that requires a verbal component. However, you still have to say something. Does that make sense?
Right, because that's providing your intent to the spell.
Yes. So the act of tattooing itself is more of a spell component than it is it's not like artificery where you misplace a line, the whole thing will blow up in your face.
That is really why I'm asking these questions.
Okay, I thought that might be what you were getting at. No, it is unlikely to blow up in your face. It might not work. However, it seems unlikely depending on how much they've studied and practiced. They might end up with a shitty tattoo that actually works fairly well.
Interesting.
Also, I do have to ask, why do you have a storm cloud over your head?
That would be them.
All right.
Its name is apparently Nimbus. If that tells you anything about how traveling this party goes.
All right. We're going to have to, domesticate you again when you get back from these adventures, aren't we?
That depends where you're sending me next.
True story. I have met a group of adventures that are causing quite a stir, but I don't think that you're ready for them yet.
Very possible. I might need a short vacation
I
if I
mean,
survive.
They have a jacuzzi, so there is that at least. He just shakes his head. Anyway, adventuring parties aside, I wish you the best of luck. Keep in touch and let us know if there's anything we can do to assist you in your mission.
Excellent. Is there anyone I should contact or should be aware of? Can be a contact, but please don't blow their cover.
Not in particular, no, not within the Cobalt Soul. If you were planning on going in a different direction and digging around the Academy or the High Courts of the Empire, perhaps, but...
Okay. Excellent. Well, then, thank you for your time. Is there anything around that? Any messages left for me that I should have been following up, 2 months ago before I vanished off face of the plane?
No, there was an interesting kind of events with a Taldore and a assassin, but we figured that out.
I was tangentially involved in making sure that didn't end in very ticked off at that point, not yet, Empress.
I think it's ended satisfactorily for everyone involved.
All the people we wanted to live did.
Exactly. I can teleport you back if you'd like, and he offers you a hand.
Yes, thank you. Takes the hand.
Okay. As he takes your hand, you are teleported back. Not exactly where you left, but you do appear at the Sun Tree.
Okay. I'm looking for the sun tree on the map, and I think the map is slightly different, so there we go. Right there in front of my face. It's no longer labeled.
I mean, the big magical tree would probably give me the hint. Just saying.
Yes.
Now that I found
Kind of
out
looks both ways.
V's not really my friend.
He is not your friend.
Been using me the whole time. You wait until Jocelyn finds out about this.
You do realize that if V actually told Isaac that he was your friend, you would then be used as leverage against him, yes?
Jocelyn will burn you all.
It's a really
knew
good thing
Jocelyn was
that
the
he
real
was off
villain.
seeing his brother instead. His wife, he doesn't take any view of that.
That's okay. Alina survived that fireball once. She can do it again. Alrighty. And Macklin, you said you were heading back to the house?
Yes.
Tab, what are you up to?
Mostly trying to recover from that amazing reveal that we don't know just happened. But let's see. So Tab would like to once they if I recall correctly, Tab had taken out most of the pieces of their tattooist's kit and assembled it on the windowsill. They were checking what they had. So it's going to take them a minute to put their things away. So that's what we're doing first, getting everything.
Okay. I was about to say, I forgot the War Council emptied out into a tattoo shop. Not a breakfast stick.
So we were in that smaller room.
Yeah, that was the.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. They walked out of through. So yeah, as people are departing, we are carefully putting things away in our kit. So now that we have a sense of what we have and all of that. And then we're gonna look up at Corin. How rusty are you?
How rusty am I at what?
At protecting yourself
Not.
or protecting us?
I
Prove it.
All right.
And we're going to. I would have thought a second ago that we were going to go outside, but apparently we're just going to hop up on the table and draw a rapier. I don't remember what kind of weapon Corin uses, so this could be extra entertaining.
So, to recap a little bit, as you were leaving the house, you did hear some chaos going on, and you didn't run into any interference as you left, but I assume that wouldn't stop her.
I know where Alina's at, so I'm fine.
Fair.
No one's screaming or shouting, so chaos is chaos.
Okay, give me just a moment here to pull up friends. That's...
Oh, look at all those people.
Yeah,
Oh,
So the
this is from Kyora's map.
yeah. So I would assume that this is probably happening right as the War Council is ending. So it'll take them forever to get on that map.
Checks out.
Give me just a moment here. He is. Do. Sure. Damn it. I apologize. I did not find a better image for Corn.
I think we should just use a different token every game.
Just a different token every game.
Sure.
What's his loose description? I can find one.
Sure. I think we
I
decided
can find it
dusty,
in the last one.
dusty brown hair, blue eyes, tall, wide. He's very broad.
He's kind of he does a very good big dumb muscle impression.
Scruffy looking human, dark hair, brown.
Yep.
What do you think? I think like medium, not like outrageously scruffy,
Yeah,
but like
not-
medium
not
scruffy.
like- If you saw him on the street, you'd think hipster more than homeless.
All right, I'll let you know what I find.
Okay. Also, he's middle-aged. I feel like I should note that because I just like opened up Art Breeder and everyone's 12.
Yeah, it's a problem.
Until then, he's gonna be a square.
And can you remind me, does he even use melee weapons? I think I remember
He
what his.
uses a sword.
Okay, excellent.
As he pulls his sword and stands on the table with you.
Do we need to roll initiative?
I think we do, yeah. Initiative matters a great deal with your build.
Yes, it does.
That's a d20.
Yeah, this isn't a big room, is it? I mean, we'll see if we stay in the room, I guess.
That's so bad. So yeah, you win initiative.
Delightful. A non-lethal, we probably have a
So what we're
standard.
Yeah, so here's how we're going to play this. You're
Just-
going to deduct hit points. First to 0 loses, but it's assumed to be non-lethal damage.
We're keeping score. We've done this before. Everybody
Yeah.
knows we know how to keep score. It's some arcane formula that he worked out at great length. And
There
we
was so
listened
many
to none
there
of,
was a math
but have
and
somehow
diagrams.
internalized anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, but mostly you just learned by doing.
We deny a knowledge of what the formula is. Cool. We're gonna oh, I forgot we're level 17 now. This will be fun. We will, we're just there. We're there. So we'll lunge and swipe. Lunge and attack. 24.
24 hits. Yeah.
Wow, what a terrible roll. 7.
37. Damn. Yeah, it's like he wasn't he forgot how quick you are, which is almost a little insulting.
We've gotten a little bit better sense. Then we're just going to free disengage, take a step back, and grin.
All right, hold on a minute, because I actually have a token for him now. Thanks, Mish.
That was so fast.
Woo!
Bye-bye, Square.
Oh no, we killed him. He's very tall, apparently.
Yeah, super tall. All right. I will fuck with it later to make it an actual token, but that's what it looks like, big, and
Delightful.
His face looks all squished when it's
Yeah.
in that. But anyway. Okay, how much damage was that?
37.
Oh my god.
With a very bad sneak attack roll. I guess it wasn't terrible.
He just blinks at you. I shouldn't let you hit me.
No. That's what we said. You're rusty. We'll fix it.
Okay. Yeah, so he's gonna go in. He's gonna steal himself. And add some hit points to. Not magic, it's just that he can do that. And then he's going to make 3 attacks with his sword.
I have no idea what this build is. I'm so excited. Yeah, those will all hit.
Alrighty.
Anything additional to add those, or?
Yes.
Okay.
You need to make a
Okay.
on the last hit. You need to make a strength saving throw.
Oh, there are very few saves that we are not at now, but that's sure one of them. That's an 8.
All right. As he comes in, quick, pressing the attack, and actually knocks you back onto the breakfast counter. So there's this little window area serving. So you're knocked back into the kitchen.
Are we prone or?
No, you are not prone. You're just pushed away.
Delightful. So we skid across the breakfast counter. Look around. Without comment, dive back through the window. Cool, that puts us far enough away. So we just attack again. 27.
27 definitely hits.
With we moved far enough that time to. Did it add the? Yes, it did add the charger bonus. So 37 points of magical piercing.
37 points of magical piercing. Is that 48 points or no?
48 points of sneak attack damage and 9 for the sword. So it's all magical piercing. Yeah. That was a much sneak attack roll. Oh, I'm sorry. I subtracted 9 instead of adding 9 because that's not how math works. 57 would be the total. I don't know what happened there. Thank you.
This is a short and brutal fight. It's kind of hilarious how short and brutal this fight is, as you guys are just. You're hit, like, you're not going for lethal damage, but you are, like, you guys are definitely, like, at, going full bore at each other.
I mean, you can't hold back. That would be disrespectful.
It would be, yeah, and that is the vibe you're getting as at the end of your turn, people start to kind of flood in and stop watching you both on the breakfast table. At least this person, and this person look vaguely amused at what they're watching.
Okay. We ignore them completely. And after landing that strike, that was new. And we sort of look around. We were gonna do a thing, but it seems like a less. Oh, we don't know. Well, we won't go that direction. We've learned some things too, and we are going to. Cool. We've seen the kitchen now. It's fine. Is that a window?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that is a kitchen window.
Oh, we've already used our action, so it's fine. We can't do that. Oh, people are still in the dining room. We don't want to mess with what's already happened. That's disappointing.
No, this would be after they left. So
Oh! Excellent.
we can massage time a little bit so you head
Cool.
back, fight your way into the war council room.
Okay.
Yes.
We vanish. We reappear in the dining room. And we use our remaining 25 feet of movement. This is a door here, right?
Yes.
To zip into the next room. That's our turn. We assume that there will be some expression of surprise in the dining room, so we're not actually leaving him blind.
It's
but
some good-natured muttering curses.
Oh, why is he fast? Oh, we did want to close that door behind us if we can.
Okay. Yep, you can.
Just like kick it closed.
Okay, so he's going to use his movement to get to the door. He's just spinning around, like, past people. Gets the door. He's going to throw it open. Use a, I should remember this because I use it all the goddamn time. Action surge. So he can get the 5 feet of movement left between you and melee.
Oh, that means he gets to make 5 attacks, right?
No.
Not he had to use it to dash, but he gets to make 3. That
Yeah. Oh, god damn it. Helps if you type in the command. Oh no.
Oh, that one will yeah, okay, only the first one hits.
Only the first one. Damn.
We're getting the hang of
his new his new speed.
He's gotten faster, but so have we.
God damn. All right, so 4 damage. Actually, and then another 5, so it's a total of 9 damage.
Okay.
And make a DC 14 saving throw. Strength saving throw, please.
No. 10.
You drop your sword.
Oh no!
As he does that fancy flourish where he kind of like gets your blade wrapped into his and just flings your sword over to the side.
Oh no!
Yuri lets out a curse and ducks on the way.
Which blue person that was.
Yeah. Ducks, curses Zemnian, ducks and moves out of the way, but in such a manner that, like, there's, oh my god, there's a fight happening, and then, oh my god, this again. And yet, like the, fuck, okay, fine, I'll go over there, I don't want to spill my coffee, sort of cursing.
Sure.
Something about this is not at all, 1, surprising, or 2, alarming, or 3, out of the ordinary for him.
I just remember that I can uncanny dodge things.
You can.
But didn't.
But didn't. So that's his turn.
He caught you by surprise, so you couldn't do
Yeah.
uncanny dodge.
Okay. What is it? Pick up my sword. Is that a free action object thing, or is it more than that?
Yeah, it's a free action.
Okay. I will free action swap my sword. This is the only way I'm going to move again forever. I'm going to cutting action teleport. Not all the way back, just far enough back. Oh no, I already did it. It's fine. I already did it. I'm gonna zip forward and stabby. Ooh, 19. I have no idea what he's wearing.
19 hits.
Cool. 42 points of magical piercing.
Yeah. He holds up his hand. All right, I give.
Already?
I think I need better armor if I'm going to be fighting at your caliber.
We think that can be arranged. Great. Very good. You're not too rusty.
I'm
We might be
glad to have.
impressed.
Oh, well, I'm glad to have impressed you. He puts his sword away.
And we will salute, sheathe our rapier, look over at Yuri. Do you know where Petra is?
Going to what?
Petra? Where they are?
Yes. Probably either in the kitchen or in the vestibule trying to arrange people to leave.
And we didn't see them in the kitchen, sounds like. Or Macklin didn't see them in the kitchen, so I'm assuming they still weren't there. So we will hook an arm through horns and trot off towards the vestibule in search of Petra, better armor, and the story about where he learned all those cool tricks.
Okay.
That will keep us occupied the next little while.
Yes. And Petra is able to can rustle up a breastplate for him between all of the generals and all of the people in and out. Should be able to manage that and give him a little bit extra protection.
Excellent. We are pleased.
Okay. And are we hand waving that, or do you want to go into more detail about where he learned all of his fancy new tricks?
I mean, if there's a cool story, I'm happy to hear it, either now or in Docker Hand's wave afterwards.
Okay. Yeah, it unfortunately isn't a cool story. It's really mostly like, because he told you in great detail about his adventures before. This is just stuff he's picked up over time. He's learned, fight smarter, not harder. And he'll joke with you a little bit about getting old and having to adapt his fighting style to being old now.
You're not that old. You're not as old as him. That's very old, but we're not sure who's in between.
I
Anyway.
guess I'm not very old. Just older. I'm trying to become one of those wily old battle masters and not a slow one.
Tell everyone that you're good at things like that. They'll want you to do more than just punch people.
I'm just telling you. I'm not telling everyone.
That's good. We don't want to have to wait in line.
Tabby Cat, you would never have to wait in line for me.
We scuff our feet a little bit and immediately start talking about tattoos again.
Mm-hmm. He grins at you and offers to be your first. He's got some skin he can offer up.
Excellent. I don't think any of these are fast.
No, but you can definitely give him a smiley face or a non-magical
We do a Captain
tattoo.
Tusktooth tattoo
Yeah.
just to practice.
So you've seen this graffiti on various bits here and there, in the city a little bit. You definitely saw it once in the Feywild, so you decide that you're going to give it a shot.
Yeah, and we don't have any cool inks yet, but we have various normal inks, so we're going to do our best approximation of prismatic ink. So like we're going to try to do a swirling rainbow colors. Well, I mean it's a very simple too, but we're going to use a couple colors and we're going to try to make it look good, whatever that would be
Yeah.
for someone who is actually good at picturing things, which is not me.
Roll a tool check with your thieves' tools and dexterity.
Oh, tattooist tools?
Yeah.
Okay. We can use our
Did I
thieves
say
tools.
thieves?
Our
I was
lock
about to
picks
say,
are
okay.
extremely sharp.
Derp. I'm having a night, guys.
Okay, and we are proficient today. So let me add. Remember, 23.
23. Yeah, this is a solid tattoo. It's your first one, so it's not like. I mean, and it's Captain Tusktooth, so it's kind of also
pretty simple.
supposed to be a little janky. But the jankiness all is on purpose, and if you get the gradient down, you're really happy with how that gradient turned out. Where are you giving him this tattoo, by the way?
Probably. Do you mean in terms of body bits, or do you mean where in terms of like, are we standing in the Great Hall next to Yuri?
Yes.
Or both?
Yes. Both.
I think we would go outside and find like I'm sure there's like a table, like a picnic table equivalent or something. And
probably like out back here in like a gardeny area.
yeah, and while we're talking to Petra, we would have like, we need soap, we need like disinfect, like we are not a healer, but we have been damaged enough times that we have some sense of like that you might want to clean an area up, so like we're not like working in a pile of dirt. Like we're still outside, it's probably not best, but we're trying. And then probably like left forearm, inside of the arm.
Yeah, it's a really good Captain Tusktooth tattoo on the inside of his forearm.
It's not magical, but maybe the next one.
He nods. Well, if it looks half as good as this one, I will be happy to wear it. So maybe we should be more inspired by it with our designs. Next time, I'll know what I want. But I like
pick the next one.
I'm going to use him to talk to people.
It would be very awkward if you didn't, so I'm glad. We're glad.
He holds. So you did it. So when he holds his arm up to his face, he has the Captain Tusktooth oriented the correct way to like.
It's like a
kind of like a puppet.
Might have been an accident, but we're not mad about it.
And he will definitely amuse you by holding his arm over his face to tell you very dumb jokes.
We
coming
are
from Tusktooth, of course.
Deeply dismayed, and let's see. Convincingly, 20 performance convincingly regretting our life choices. And we pull out the yo-yo and start doing yo-yo tricks. Refusing to watch this performance.
He does eventually drop it and just kind of relax with you in the garden.
Yes, this sounds lovely.
Yeah. All right. And with everyone heading back towards the house, and ready to go to Marquette, we're going to call it for tonight. A little early, but my voice is shot. So.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
was entertaining.
People
Okay.
did stuff.
I still can't believe that he did
Things
it.
happen.
I don't understand what happened there.
We found
He had
I
to
out.
like
go
it.
justify his travel expenses to his boss.
That's
what happened
We
there.
had a little performance review. That's what happened.
I mean, did V just outrogue all the rogues?
I sure did. He sure did. I'm concerned about Max Pigskin also. Like, that's so sweet. But this, like, it's not actually tanned thing feels like it might be a problem. But I guess we'll all find out together.
Can you tattoo on tanned pigskin?
I mean,
I should probably acclimate myself with how it actually works.
I was gonna say I don't know. But
V apparently is somewhere between lore rogue and like diplomacy rogue, and yeah. How did that happen?
yeah, got paid. That was ask questions.
You got bills you gotta pay, so he work every single day.
Well, also they were going to declare him dead.
Were they really?
Yes. I think last time anybody saw V, he was going to hell. Literally.
And now he's only there figuratively. That's fine.
And he
Maybe it's
never
safer
left.
in the handbasket.
That's where the books are. Wow. Also, can we talk about Ojin being like, you want me to tell you everything, and Johnson being like, later? To be clear, I loved that so much. It was so beautiful.
I
also-
wanted it to happen so much because I was like, I know that Dawson's gonna be like, no, I'm not interested.
It was glorious.
You don't know Johnson. Yeah, Johnson probably wouldn't be interested.
They should sip hot chocolate.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Doesn't have other priorities. It's entirely valid. It was just delightful. Alright.
I mean, he hasn't
The
talked to his brother in forever, so probably was a good idea.
Well, and it was one of those things where, like, the hardest thing was to keep focus on your bit of the story and not get distracted by chat.
Yeah,
That's
people
part
don't
of the
do
boss
that.
difficulty curve.
Yeah, exactly.
This is an informal warning that I've got some family life stuff going on. Like I mentioned, I can turn my phone off on silent like I usually do. I don't anticipate next game being canceled, but however, I will let y'all know if it is.
Life happens.
Mhm.
Hey, family first. You do this game for free. For our sake. So if you need time, just
For y'all's sake, I do it for my
Exactly.
sake. I need this for my own sanity. I don't know what y'all talking about.
Listen, your
Well, I
bosses,
suppose-
You need souls for your soul battery.
I do.
your
But also
bosses
you-
will allow you to have a vacation if you need a vacation.
a little PTO as a treat.
Yeah, you only get one
Yeah.
day though.
Yeah, so I don't know. Everything's very much up in the air
Mm-hmm.
because we don't know when anything's gonna happen. So, and like, I can theoretically run this game on my phone, but also
who would want
it
to?
might not be as
No.
enjoyable for y'all.
No, it wouldn't be enjoyable for you. We're players. We enjoy even if you just sat there and talked to us. We don't need visuals. It
We
wouldn't
can
be
just
fun
chill
for
and
you.
chat.
Yeah.
Especially John doesn't want visuals. We should do a whole session that is
Yeah.
Jaws and Vision only.
Yeah.
I mean, I could do that if I have a little prepreration. I actually have a book about.
Save a lot of time on maps.
Yeah.
So, do you know where I got that trick? It's a book from one of my favorite romance authors. She wrote a how-to book on how to write scenes, and yeah, that's where I was like, okay, gotta do the rule of 3 here, but one of them can't be sight.
It was a very smooth shift.
Just 5 senses. Pick 3.
Oh, well, thank you. This was
Yeah.
lovely, and I will look forward to playing with you all next week or the week after or whatever life allows.
You know.
Yeah, buddy. See
Can
ya.
I say how
Like I
glad
said-
V is that no one went with him because apparently the reactions were strong.
How long has
You know.
has V actively been trying to shake the party to do this for a while, or was this just like opportunity presented itself so he seized it?
V has been supposed to check in probably every time he's in Whitestone and generally fails.
Just can't do it because Tab tracks him down.
Bruh. All
Yeah.
he has to do is say, I gotta go talk
Love
to
it
my
so
boss.
So yeah, it's been one of those things that it's like I should go and like make sure they still know I'm alive. Oh well, off to hell we go. Oh sure,
like-
wherever.
I mean,
I had a one-on-one earlier today, so I was like, what did my boss say to me? How can I reach this?
Right. What
this
are your
for D&D?
goals? Where do you see yourself in 3 years?
How can-
Hopefully still
how can
breathing.
management best assist you in your goals?
yeah.
Let's write up some KPIs so that we have some measurable successes that we can show to the company. higher ups.
V, what do you want to be?
How
Not
does this-
dead.
Not cursed.
Preferably,
For too-
yeah,
for too
preferably,
long. A little
preferably
cursed
not
might be
cursed.
okay, but not if it goes on for too long.
I don't know whether it's a rational or irrational fear that V has about being cursed. They're very
V walked
adamant
around
about it.
cursed
Yeah,
For,
he was
like,
cursed for a
2
while,
or
wasn't
3
he?
days when we went to Barovia.
V needs to request a raise. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
V requested really shiny, cool magic armor. We'll see if he gets it. How requisitions might go.
Yeah, we'll give you that promotion, but you're gonna have to do a 3-month probationary period. It's been about 7. I think I'm ready.
Are you serious, boss? Because I mean, I've been with the company for 10 years.
Yeah, but V, you remember when you did that thing, like 7 months ago that you weren't supposed to?
Hashtag too real after my meeting today.
I don't know,
They were
V.
like,
You've
"You
been
didn't
asked.
call this case that was escalated."
Yep.
I was like, yeah, because I escalated it.
You know, V, you've been perfect all the way up until this point, but that little tiny thing that we're gonna nitpick just so we don't have to pay you an extra 25 cents. Yeah, that's just gonna hold you back. We'll give you a couple more months on it, all right?
I mean, no, not really, but I'd like to live. See life goals.
I still have insurance though, right? We're good there.
This is Dead Dayless. They think they do insurance? They maybe have a protection racket, but
I
it's
mean,
not all
armor
the
is
same.
kind of like insurance, right?
That's
Yeah.
why V's requesting it.
Yeah, no, they don't
That's
worry.
more like sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say that's more like your health, like your gym or home equipment reimbursement benefit. Is we'll subsidize, you buy part of the armor and then we'll subsidize part of the armor because it's better for your health overall. But you got to get the armor first.
Don't worry,
Hey,
V.
if anything, V has been doing this for the last couple of months and proved he could live anyway. He would just really like the armor now.
Also, I like that V is very concerned about this tattoo. I don't know if V doesn't remember if it's just in Tab's hands now. This is V's spell book, tattoo spell book that Tab is walking around with. Like they borrowed that from him way back one of the first times that they crashed at his place. And he made
yes,
them promise to
but-
take good care of it.
But sometimes spell books don't have all of the relevant data when you go to apply
Mhm.
things.
Oh, I'm just saying he could take it back at any moment if he felt it was likely that this wasn't a good idea.
But on the other hand, V kind of want to see what's happened. He just doesn't want it to actually literally blow up in their faces.
extremely fair. These were good questions that have
Wind
not
up first.
remotely occurred to Tab. So they don't know that they're glad that someone is thinking about these things. But
It's like this spell book thing is like, oh yeah, sure, tattoos. It's like that one client company that you work with that is like possibly absolutely atrocious to work with, and you're just like, okay, what is expected of me?
extremely fair. Some of these are cool. Who wants wings?
I already have them.
Oh, that's right. This is the wrong party to try to sell on wings. Mac really wants some wings.
Do you really want to give the rogue with crossbow proficiency the ability to leave combat and snipe from above?
I mean, kind of.
Yes.
Do
Yeah.
we really want to? Sorry, do we want to
Are
do
you
this
asking
to
the players
DM?
or the DM?
Yeah.
Because you're gonna get really different answers.
Yeah.
I'm asking
No,
the
I
I'm asking the
want it.
players to
Oh my
think
god, I
before
want
the
you
DM
guys to do
retaliates.
crazy bullshit like that. That makes me draw crazy bullshit. I
I
love
mean-
it when you guys do crazy nonsense.
Oh my
I
goodness.
mean,
yes,
we-
I've been.
Yeah.
Go full cherub.
I'm kind of just like absolutely psyched that I finally got to do this bit where I went and checked the Dente list because I
was
keep like not doing
amazing.
it.
It has been utter like legit had no idea that V had any agenda whatsoever, other than like obviously like V likes to do things and like is charming and entertaining and likes to get books and like his curling up in front of fireplaces to read them is completely lovely. Like I enjoy V very much as a character. I just had no idea that there was a
Yeah, that V's a
Hey.
traitor. Yeah, it's fine.
That
not
I
quite
object.
the word I would
Okay,
use, but yes, in substance,
you
like
guys practically kidnapped him out of a library.
we weren't
Yeah,
I
that,
don't
we
think that
know.
counts as betrayal.
We think
V
he's a
is
cinnamon
like-
roll.
V is like weird, like dark academic core that's really popular right now.
Gothic
Y'all
academia, don't mind me.
Yeah, y'all didn't
Phenomenal.
realize that there was like this whole like under thing happening.
And what's killing me
Why
is that
else
we
would you
probably
find a
won't-
librarian rogue? I mean,
we
honestly.
probably won't get to realize it because V's just gonna like vamp back into Whitestone, and when we all find him, he's gonna be curled in front of the fireplace again.
Yeah, we're gonna think that V was by the fireplace the entire. Oh, V, just reading a book as
Yep.
usual.
V, don't you ever go out?
Only on very special occasions. Did you know that drow are kind of sensitive to sunlight?
That's why we got through that rain cloud, and so it
That's a good
blocks
point.
the sun and blocks and also the rain. It does weird things to the light. So there's a prism on your hair. It's very pretty.
V, where'd you get that
Did you
new
just
armor?
literally say my hair is throwing rainbows now?
We technically meant that the sun reflected through the rain was throwing rainbows on your hair. But it's probably fine. A little
Nothing.
lightning bolts from the rain
Nothing's
cloud.
fine. Nothing's fine at all.
Oh come on, you were a cleric
Now
of
you're sounding
Hades.
sure.
I am more of a vessel of Hades now. Thank you very much.
I wonder how that's better than, be prior to this party being involved in a criminal organization.
Oh, I thought
Talk
of
about
Josh
agendas, okay?
I
last-
mean,
not last Sunday, but 2 Sundays ago when I was DMing my Dragon Heist game, and I have a Warlock of Asmodeus who was, he started as a great old one Warlock, and then he's kind of patron shopping, so he's been getting his the go-between has been bringing him like contracts to sign with Asmodeus. So last session he basically spent. Oh, he got a new contract and spent a fair amount of time reading it at the table, and I kept thinking of I don't remember even where it was, but there was one point where Jocelyn was like doing contract law many
Wasn't
months
that
ago.
hell?
he
Yeah,
still
might
he
have
still
been hell.
does.
Yeah,
He still does
and
contract law.
every
It's
time
just not been as much call for it since.
every time the Warlock's turn came around, I was just like, what would Jocelyn say? And came up with another bananas clause for him to discover based on his investigation check. I appreciated you very much. Oh, that's
Just
horrifying, Rob.
Happy to help.
That's so upsetting. But also, I see your point.
Oh
no,
should
it's
I
a-
be
Oh no,
worried?
it's a curse.
Is this in roll 20?
Yeah.
I can post it in
You-
TeamSpeak. I didn't realize he left. I can't
Oh
post
my
in that
gosh,
channel.
why?
Hang on, I'll throw it. We can throw it in the Facebook group for. I
I'm
guess
not sure I
everyone.
want to click on this.
No, you don't.
It's. I mean, it's very good, but it's very upset. Oh no! Every sentence I look at gets worse. I miss
Oh
the tendrils
no.
burrowing.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh, this is. Oh, good grief, why? No,
Feed half your remaining
Macklin,
hit
why?
dice.
It's
I
a
specifically
symbiote. It's like
said
Venom.
I didn't
mean, it's
want to
very
be cursed.
I mean, but
It
you don't always
relates.
like you don't always get what you want. That's
I
workplaces are
don't
like
have the
that. You say, I don't
But
con
want
you
to
can
be
get
stats
what
for
cursed,
you
but they
this.
hear I would love a curse. Let's find you a good
It's
new
not
curse.
only armor, it's also a friend.
Yeah, that's a friend
I
for
have a
sure.
cat, thanks.
They're a little clingy. They're a little clingy.
A little.
I don't have the con for this friend. It's like just emotionally exhausting just looking at it.
Armor of leeches.
Those are some good resistances, though.
I mean,
Yeah.
It's
as good
hard
as
to
it
get
gets.
resistance to psychic damage.
Yeah. And
I'm sure necrotic won't be at all relevant fighting a lich.
and rogues only have resistance to like attacks that hit them. So spells that do necrotic or psychic or things that you can't really see happen. I mean, arguably,
It's yeah, no,
I
it's
love it. I genuinely kind of love it.
See what you've done.
is it something that jives with Denthalis though?
I
Would
don't
this
think
be
it's
their
something that they
wheelhouse?
would. I don't think it's something that they give to someone they like.
it's what Essex
Yeah.
brought back from Cognosa.
Yeah.
All right, I'll keep looking.
It's like honestly, it has to match the cloak of Arachnid there.
I would match real good. It's
No.
It could be spiders. It could just be spiders. Nothing but spiders.
Oh
It just
no!
is-
There's a warlock invocation that is almost that cloak of flies. It's horrifying.
Oh no.
It's so some of those invocations are super gross.
It's
Um,
horrifying, but it's like horrifyingly awesome. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, you surround yourself with a magical aura that looks like buzzing flies, 5 feet from you in
Mhm.
every direction. It lasts until you're incapacitated or dismissed as a bonus action. Grants you advantage on charisma intimidation checks, but disadvantage on all other charisma checks.
Checks
Which-
out.
Yeah, correct. Any other creature that starts its turn in the aura takes poison damage equal to your charisma modifier.
It's awesome, but it'd get annoying after a while of just listening to.
Just the buzzing.
Yeah,
Bzzz.
it's like having tinnitus all the time. Yeah.
Oh no.
It's really cool though.
hmm
Definitely will go on my necromancer for sure.
Yeah, that would be thematically.
Perfect.
Oh shit, actually.
There is literally an armor of necrotic resistance on here.
But does it require fresh blood to be fed to it?
I found new friends.
No,
These are better
it's
friends.
just
Do I need to
armor. It's just armor of necrotic resistance. Not here's your soul getting sucked out of you.
Yeah, where the chat is. I don't know. Oh, there it is.
This time it's in TeamSpeak. I should use the actual
I always forget that
Facebook.
exists.
All right, I'm gonna pop off for the night. Everyone have a good one.
Have a
Good
good
night.
Sup,
one,
sup,
Leash.
sup.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
Oh, this is cool. In addition, the armor's animated straps can assist with the drawing and sheathing of weapons.
Okay,
such-
seriously, the armor is a bag of holding?
It looks that way.
Yes.
It has pockets.
Basically, the straps reach out and grab things and tuck them into where they're supposed to go.
Okay, V is kind of in here.
They are friendly
The
belts,
straps-
straps, and buckles.
You can hold one book in each hand, and then the straps can each hold straps of extra books for you. You could be reading so many books at once.
The straps can like take the book and hand you a knife, and then you can throw the knife, and then you still have
Still
enough
be
action
reading.
economy to pick the book back up.
Yeah, I mean, you could be reading and throwing the knife at the same time. Like,
Hmm,
this is right up V's alley for
it
sure.
kind of is.
And it's a +1 to AC. Oh, but
Layers.
it's
We
like
also
it's not studded leather,
Mm.
so you would break even. That's dumb.
Eh.
This is ruined, broken game, unplayable.
How am I supposed to survive?
Just don't
Well,
get hit.
you could get an animated shield. Animated shields don't require actual shield proficiency. You just say a command word, and they loop around your head and protect you a little bit.
Okay, there's literally something on here called an arm blade,
Maybe
which is a
we
magic
can.
weapon that attaches to your arm and becomes inseparable from you as long as you're attuned to it.
Yeah,
You can retract it into your forearm. It is basically Wolverine talons here.
basically.
Yes, that's what it is.
What madness is this?
All right, I'm gonna head out as well.
Good night.
Have a good
Yeah,
night.
Weapon of certain death. What was
Bye.
that?
Fun.
Well, that was interesting. Interesting, fun. Visa trader or something of the sort. I appreciate you all for watching. Thank you for watching this video, whether it's during the stream or after the stream. It all counts. It all helps. I appreciate you all. If you would, give the video a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you like my content and you want to see more. I'm hoping to have some D&D tips and tricks. I'm going to be covering the character sheet for any beginners, anyone who's first started out and has no idea what they're doing and just wants to know how to build the character sheet. I'm going to have some tips for you. I'm going to break down every piece of the character sheet in small 5 to 10 minute videos, something you can quickly watch, get the concept of, and create. So hit the subscribe with the notification bell to see that. Thank you all. I really appreciate every last one of you, and I hope to see you all